This video is probably going to be a little bit everywhere because I've got some footage I lost, got some footage I'm adding, and this is not sequential by any means. It's been several weeks since I've done any recording. I've been working on the house. I had the roof replaced, all the fascia replaced. I put up new shutters that we made ourselves. But it's time to work on some cars, and got the whole fleet out here getting work done. So the Duster finally got the new wheels. Just got her washed up. It was covered in junk from the roofing. My garage is a disaster. So brought her out, cleaned her up, and I figure it's as good a time as any to smack these pretty new wheels on here. I think the fitment is about perfect. Gives it a slight rake, but not too bad. The back tires are, I have to look at the specs again, but I think they're about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches taller than the fronts. And they're also 1.5 inches wider in the rear. And I did that mostly to try and offset the stance because this has the straight six, so it has the narrow rear end also. So if you look, you can actually see the front wheel sticks out slightly farther than the back one. But giving it the wider one up front, it at least makes it a lot closer. That's a pretty good look. Nice and meaty, aggressive, but not over the top, I don't think. I'm digging it. Yeah, she looks ready to go. So that was really the last big thing I wanted to do to get her roadworthy. I got a couple little things to button up. I gotta fix the gas lines because I'm pretty sure, like I said, those are not correct. So I want to fix that. Need to change the oil. But then she's ready. And then phase 2 is going to be cleaning up the paint, cleaning up the interior, because I haven't done a whole lot in here. So it needs a little bit of love. And while I was doing that, I went ahead and pulled the F350 out. Washed it up with a Scotch-Brite pad and then chased it with the sponge to clean it up because we're getting ready to clear coat both this and the Duster. Maybe tomorrow if I'm feeling up to it. But I think it's looking pretty good. I might not even do a whole lot of extra sanding on it. I kind of like it just the way it is. I just need to get off the spots like here where it's flaky because it's not going to bite to that. So I'm going to have to sand back and find some paint that's on there. But front end's looking pretty good for this truck anyhow. I like all the random oddball Bondo and patches and funkiness on it. It's what gives it the character. So we're just going to lock it in. This truck surprisingly does not leak currently. So we're just going to seal her in just like that. So plan is tomorrow I'm going to try and get both of these prepped and ready for that wipe on clear coat and have them finished up. The 350, I went ahead and changed out the front brake lines. It took me a while to get those, so that was the delay there. But I got the brakes redone, rebled again today, and now she's stopping no problem. So that one's finished. All I have left to do is do that clear coat, and then she's just ready to drive. This one, like I said, I got a couple little housekeeping things, oil and checking the fuel system, but she's almost ready too. We'll have both of those on the road, which is good news, which means then I'm going to have the 4 running driving vehicles, and I'll probably have to delete some here soon. Yeah, I don't know. I've got the Sequoia over there, which is the work truck. That one's going to stay. I got the Duster, which I just got looking the part, so that one will probably stay. But I don't know what to do. I got this guy, the 350, which is fun, but not necessary. And I've got the Bronco back there, which is running, driving good, and again, not necessary, but fun. So I got 3 toys and 1 I need. I guess how many toys is too many toys? I don't know. I've got the space anyway. Except I got my buddy's boat here I'm working on. So once that goes, I'll have a little more. And the thought is maybe keep the 350 down in Keystone. But I don't know. What would you do? Howdy everybody. I didn't lie this time. It's the next day, Sunday. Got myself a detailing juice, and we're sanding, prepping, ready in this one and that one for the wipe on clear coat. Finally, the day has come. This one's going to be a little different than my other videos because I'm not going to bore you with a how-to. We're going to try a different flavor, and we're just going to go over the brief, end results, and during, I'm going to skip all the in-between stuff. So I did quite a bit of sanding on it. I'm actually finished with the sanding on this truck. Brought out a little bit more color. As you can see, most of this side was solid brown before. I may throw up some before and after pics, but I blended in a lot of the original Uhaul orange from the cab. The doors are not original, as I suspected, because there's not a lick of orange in them. Did my first ever Bondo repair on the corner of this door. It's awful, but once it's if it was painted, it would actually look pretty good. It's fairly even. I could have done a little bit more sanding, but I wanted to actually leave as much material as I could, and I just shot it real quick and nasty with some primer. For this truck, it's good enough. It's better than a giant hole in the door, and that was really the only rust hole on this truck, believe it or not. A lot of other surface rust, but nothing eaten away. Brought some more orange out in the front of the fender, which is original. Hood, as we suspected, is not. I don't even know that this cowl area is original because I didn't see any orange in it either, unless it was white from the U-Haul paint scheme, which is possible. It might have been orange on the hood, or I'm sorry, white on the hood and the cowl, and then the top of the cab and orange below is my guess. This fender, no orange in it, a lot of green and blue, which is interesting. Same with the doors, so I assume he had a donor truck they stole the fenders and doors from. But did a little bit of cleanup on this door, mostly by necessity. There was a lot of flake and paint on these replaced panels. Brought in a lot more orange on this side. I just like having that blend in to match the interior a little bit. But I think that'll actually look really good cleared. Oh, there is a little bit of orange on that fender. Look at that. But that's what we're going to end up looking like. It'll be a little bit brighter once I spray with the Prep All and get it cleaned up. You can use alcohol. The stuff I have is actually called like Prep X or something. There's Prep All. Basically anything that's alcohol that'll wipe it clean of any solvents and oils, but dry is what you want. Getting ready to do that next. Oh, let me show you the other one. This one looks a little nastier right now because I haven't wiped it down at all yet. But this rust was getting fairly advanced level on the trunk. So I had to sand it more than I would like. And I had to go down to bare metal in spots. But it was the rust was sticking up so much as you wiped it with a microfiber cloth, it was grabbing and leaving pieces of the towel. So I had to get a little bit aggressive on the top right in here, most of the hood. And this rear quarter here had a little bit of Bondo repair. You can kind of see it layered in right in here. Not bad, but sanded it in. I'm just going to clear right over it. We're going to leave it. It's character. I'm hoping once we prep all this, it'll even it out a lot. I may do some feathered sanding. And my thought is I'm just going to do the trunk as a test on this car because I want this one to look a little better. The rest of the paint's really not too bad. There's a couple rust spots on the roof that I sanded that I'm going to hit, but I'm not even going to do the whole roof yet. just the trunk, those spots. We'll see how it comes out, and if it comes out good, I'll mix up another batch for the rest of this car. If you're curious, I bought a dual action air sander, but it came with the wrong backing plate for my pads, which were the Velcro kind, so I couldn't use it. Had to use my stupid little mouse-eared finishing sander with the wrong round pads on it that I bought for the other. But that did the job. I did 80, and then I did 320, and then I did 600. Those are my 3 steps that I dropped down on the sanding. Even though this one is going to look ridiculous, I still want it to be smooth so that stuff lays down good, the clear coat. So it's got a 600 grit all over it, same with the Duster. And then I went behind them and hit them with the air chuck. Where did it blow? Bam! Air chuck with the compressor just to get some of the dust off, so I'm not just going through pad after pad after pad wiping it down. Now that we've blasted them off, we're going to go ahead and wipe them down. Figure I'll let you guys see the difference the wipe down makes. This stuff's not called Prep X. I lied. There's an X in it, but it's Mother's CMX Surface Prep. It's in the clearance rack at Walmart. Alright, so I lied. I'll give you a little bit of the during, because everybody knows the time lapse is the most fun part of the video. White, ready to go. Sanded up my Bondo spot a little bit. That one's also prepped and ready to go. Since this one doesn't matter really how it looks, it's just for protection. We're gonna start here. I'm gonna mix it up, light the stuff on. We'll see what it does. Never tried it before, so we're in the same boat. All right, mixed up. And we're done. That stuff makes more than I thought. I mixed half the bottle. It's a 32 ounce bottle. I used 16 ounces. That did this truck, all of that car, and the rear tailgate on the Bronco. So that makes a pretty hefty amount. I guess I must have done a lighter coat than suggested, because it's only supposed to do like one full-size pickup with a bed, of course. So I'll probably end up having to do it a second time, another coat, but you have to allow 24 hours between coats, so we're done for now. Check it out. It really brightened up all the different colors underneath, especially the orange, which I like. It's my door repair, looking fancy. There are a couple spots where the first run with it, I went too thick and I got streaks. You can see them there. Only way I can fix that is to go over them with a second coat. Lesson learned, this was the first vehicle done, so you know, you're gonna have some issues, but honestly it looks great. It just looks like it's damp, you know, it just makes the color pop a little bit. Really brings out the stuff like that green on the fender, the blue over there. Especially right here, look at that orange, came out really nice. Really set it off, I think. Oh yeah. So we'll take a look at the Duster. I did it second, so it's still pretty wet, so you can see all the lines in it. But I think that'll go away as it dries. Tail panel came back nice. The trunk has a nice dull sheen to it. I did the matte clear, not the gloss, because I thought it would be more forgiving of blemishes. I didn't even prep all the whole car. I probably should have, but I had just washed it yesterday really well. But since I had so much of that stuff already mixed up, and it doesn't have a very long, they call it pot life, it's only good for 2 hours. So I went ahead and just hit the whole car, and man, look at that. I mean, it's glowing, especially the hood, which had cool looking paint, but it was just so dull. But it really came around. I mean, this paint, it's hard to explain, and it doesn't come out great in video, but it's like deep. It almost looks like a candy paint with that orange. I mean, it's a beautiful color. And it almost looks like a bowling ball. There's like, it looks like it's faded, but it's not. That's just the way the paint is. There's like darker spots and lighter spots kind of in it. Almost like one of those pearlescent bowling balls. It's pretty cool. Clearly not an original paint job. I think it's been recoated once. But I didn't even sand over the rest of the rust, because the rest of the rust wasn't that bad. I'm just locking it all in. So I think overall that came out excellent. Nice sheen to it, not too shiny, not too dull. I said I might have to do a second coat because it does look kind of streaky, but that may just be because it's drying. That was the first panel I did. But overall, very happy with it. If I could go over a second coat and get rid of the blemishes, then it's going to look really nice. And honestly, for this one, I didn't care how it looked. I just don't want it to get rustier. I wanted to keep it looking like this as long as possible. And I think this will allow that to happen. Got the interior detailed up a little bit. Still need to paint the inside of the doors, but the panels are clean. Got the, let's zoom you out here. Got the dash cleaned up. It actually cleaned pretty well. I didn't want to go too hard because I want to keep all those original stickers. Polish the dash pad. It's got a couple cracks, but that's one of the better dash pads for these F100s I've seen. Cleaned my fancy Uhaul visors up. Pretty cool. Seat cleaned up okay. It's obviously all torn right here on the driver's side. So they'll probably have to recover that at some point soon. And headliner, I got it up for now, but it's missing the edge enough. It's just like cardstock almost, like a thick particle board. And it's weathered away, so I have it tucked up. But eventually I'll probably pull that out. The ceiling's orange all the way through, so if I take that out, it's probably a pretty clean ceiling in there. But looking pretty good, I think. And here's the best part. Uga horn installed. Love it. She's redneck ready now. Bought another F-100 today. It's dark. We're driving it home for the first time with an F-350 that is also untested and on the road for the first time. What can possibly go wrong? We made it.
Yay.
So first, sort of first trip for this one. I'll explain that later. First trip for her in it, I think, right?
No.
And first big outing since I did all the repairs on that one. So both did well. Both made it home. We are alive. Both trucks are alive.
Some projects to do, but
both have their own little quirks. but hey, they succeeded. They got us here. So that's how every driveway should look.
She's home.
Yeah. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.